Yo people, welcome back to the channel. Canelo Alvarez has reportedly agreed a deal to face his WBC mandatory challenger Avni Yildirim on February 27th. Canelo will be working alongside Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing and DAZN. It's believed that the deal also agrees that if Canelo defeats Yildirim, he will fight WBO super middleweight champion Billy Joe Saunders on Cinco de Mayo weekend, which is set for around May 8th this year. Eddie Hearn suggested that the only part of the deal that they're not sure about is obviously whether Billy Joe Saunders will accept the deal that is proposed to him, because Billy Joe Saunders has often in the past rejected deals that he sees not correct for him, whether there's not enough time to train in his eyes or not enough money for the amount of time he's got to train. It would be unfortunate if yet again Billy Joe Saunders misses the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez just because of the fact that he needs more time to train because he hasn't stayed in shape in between training camps, or whether he wants more money, which in the situation that the economy's in right now, you know, a lot of fighters are taking pay cuts, Canelo Alvarez probably as well included in that. So let's not be greedy here. Obviously I know Billy Joe Saunders is a businessman, it's his own career, he doesn't care what I say, but you know, maybe the opportunity of facing Alvarez is more valuable than a payday in itself. So that's something to factor in for Billy Joe Saunders if his problem with the deal is the money side of things. The reaction amongst many boxing fans online seems to be that they're not interested in the Canelo Yildirim fight, which is understandable because Avni Yildirim, in terms of the quality of opponent, is not very good. Maybe 5 years ago it would have been a better opponent in terms of the quality, because Yildirim in the last couple of years has significantly deteriorated. I mean, you look at his last fights against Andre Dirrell, which he lost. You look at the way Chris Eubank Jr. disposed of him within 3 rounds. So, you know, Avni Yildirim is not on Canelo's level. You know, I would be absolutely shocked if Avni Yildirim even went 12 rounds with Canelo. So, yeah, it's not a very interesting fight. But, you know, champions like Canelo Alvarez, they tend to have one fight here and there which is against weaker opposition to some extent. You look at his last 5 fights and you can excuse one lesser opponent. When you look at his last 5 fights, you've got Callum Smith for the vacant WBC and WBA World Super Middleweight titles. Then before that you've got Sergey Kovalev for the WBO light heavyweight title. Then before that you had Danny Jacobs for the WBC, WBA and IBF middleweight titles. Prior to that, Rocky Fielding for the WBA super middleweight title. That was the regular belt, I believe. Then prior to that you had the rematch with Gennady Golovkin. So, you know, Avni Yildirim in his next fight is somewhat excusable, especially if you know Billy Joe Saunders is going to be his next opponent after that, or maybe even Caleb Plant. But Billy Joe Saunders is obviously the more likely of the two, because Billy Joe Saunders is signed to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. And you know, I'm sure Canelo wouldn't have chosen Avni Yildirim if he wasn't his mandatory challenger, because the talk from Canelo is that he wants to be undisputed at 168. So to hold on to that WBC belt, he's probably got to, you know, take care of his mandatory obligations. So I can, you know, excuse one fight against lesser opposition because you need to keep your belt, right? But yeah guys, let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comments below. Do you think it's a foregone conclusion that Canelo will steamroll Avni Yildirim, or will it be a more tricky test? Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on post notifications to stay notified whenever I upload a new video.